going to bed at night, don't you?
Yep. Most of these birds are very fat and overweight. That's why they'll never leave the Tower of London, because a few of them just can't seem to get themselves up off the ground.
They should eat your heart out.
Oh yeah.
They should get competition, yeah?
Now there's one portly and overweight bird, and he's big.
Originally, it was the mansion for the Duke of Somerset's London home. It was also used at one time by the General Registrar as a place where they used to keep all these certificates of births, marriages and deaths for all English and Welsh subjects. Ahead of us is Waterloo Bridge, also known as the Ladies' Bridge. And that isn't just because of the fantastic curves, no, it's because when it was built during the Second World War, all of our men were away fighting. True to form, the ladies chose a very expensive stone to face the bridge, a self-rented wooden stone. You see how dirty brown it is on the other side there, underneath the arches? Compare it to the face underneath, which obviously where the rain does not penetrate. It's important, so I'm not entirely sure, but there's quite a few buildings that cover with it in London, including Tower Bridge. Anyway, I'm sure you would all agree when I say the Ladies' Bridge is a very impressive building, some Force Cathedral. These red columns either side of the boat now are the remains from the first ever railway bridge to span the River Thames, designed by a great Victorian engineer, Isambard King and Brunel, son of Mark Brunel. The top section was removed many years ago and it was starting to fall apart, become very dangerous. They couldn't take the abutments out because they would undermine these bridges, the Blackfriars bridges on either side. Unilever House to your right, the circular one, headquarters of Lever Brothers. Not professional by any means, so does mean the commentary only comes in one language, which is some kind of English. I try and speak as slowly and as clearly as possible. Have we got any Americans on board with us today? Yeah? Okay, I'll speak very slowly and clearly then. Right, well, we're going to turn the boat around very shortly to start heading in the correct direction for Westminster. There ahead of us, the gateway to London, Tower Road Bridge. Probably the most photographed and recognisable bridge anywhere in the world. It was completed in 1894 after 8 years of construction. Most famous this bridge, of course, for its raising roadways. The centre lower arms of the bridge, they're known as bascules. That's the French word for seesaw, bascule. Each bascule weighs in a region of 1,100 tons. It takes approximately 90 seconds to be raised into the full upright position to allow tall ships, like for example the HMS Belfast, passage into the upper port of London, which is the area we are in now. Anyone in the world can have Tower Bridge open for them. Anyone. All you have to do is contact the crew of the bridge at least 24 hours in advance, let them know that you'd like a bridge lift, and of course have a ship tall enough to warrant them opening the bridge. Once or twice a week now, it's a very rare sight, Tower Bridge, raising bascules. 100 years ago, say, when the bridge was first built and opened, it would have been operated more like 20 to 30 times every single day. At the moment, in the process of redecorating Tower Bridge, repainting, that's where they got all the scaffolding up. Now, often you ask what this is. That glass circular structure, there on your left-hand side, is one of the newest buildings to arise here in London. It is City Hall, the headquarters of the Mayor of London. Don't want to get in trouble, so just stick with the garden for now. And that's actually the headquarters for Swiss Re, a very, very large insurance company. Now, our first real point of interest on the Thames is just here, the HMS Belfast, London's very own warship. Southampton class cruiser. She weighs 11,500 tons and was actually built in the same shipyard as where they constructed the ill-fated Titanic, the Harland and Wolff shipyard in Northern Ireland. Completed in 1938, then commissioned for the Second World War. The Belfast was used to help sink and destroy the German battlecruiser, the Scharnhorst, which was 3 times the Belfast size, weighing an impressive 38,000 tons. As I said, there was a candle that started the fire and a small baker's shop in Pudding Lane. Our first bridge we passed through is London Bridge, without a doubt the most historic of all the Thames bridges. The first permanent crossing to stand on the tidal Thames was built by the Romans 2,000 years ago. Present-day London Bridge was opened up in 1973 by the Queen. On your left there, you have the Shakespeare shop, William's younger brother. Also on your left there was owned by the Viaberg Extractive Meat Company. Simply the men behind the OXO cube. In this country is a small stock cube made for gravy and that, or what your mum does in her week for the Sunday lunch. They wanted to advertise their product, OXO, on the building, but if you have a look around you now, that is what's missing. There's no McDonald's, or Samsung, Sony, none of that crap, and hopefully never will be. It's completely illegal because it's classed as a pub named the Anchor to exist on that site of land for some 400 years. The original was frequented by Dr. Johnson, Samuel Pepys, the diarist, Charles Dickens and William Shakespeare. Southwark Bridge opened up in 1921. This is London's least used and narrowest of all the road traffic bridges. On your left here, see that white building? It's got timber frames and a thatched wooden roof, a straw thatched roof. This is a replica of William Shakespeare's Royal Globe Theatre. It was opened about 12 years ago by Her Majesty the Queen. It was originally a dream child of Sam Wanamaker. He was an American film and theatre director, someone says. Yeah, it is in fact best known as the Wibbly Wobbly Bridge, best remembered. It's meant to be the Millennium Bridge for the Millennium celebrations. It was opened up in the year 2000, in May, on a Monday morning. Opened by the Queen, it was closed about an hour later by the police, condemned for being unsafe. The bridge used to violently shake up to 5 feet from back and forth. Almost 2 metres back and forth. Everyone that was on the bridge that day was falling over, hurting themselves, and a few people were sick.